been here before? Yeah, about half. How many people are new to this? Good. So I'll give a little background. This actually started off as a joint meeting between OWASP and in 2014, we thought, hey, it's great to do a joint meeting again. And we happen to know the president of ISC Squared. I'm not a big mic person, but we knew we had connections, and quickly it grew from only 2 organizations to 14 security organizations. And we said, wow, that's great. That's a big joint meeting. One of the things we found that a lot of members of InfraGard were also members of OWASP, were also members of ISC Squared. So there's a lot of overlap. And we started thinking, well, what makes sense for people? We came up with 2 items. One is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Every security organization has a meeting for National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Do I want to go to 15 different meetings in October? No, so let's just have 1 meeting in October. Hence the New York Metro Joint Cybersecurity Conference. The second thing we found that folks in groups like ISSA and ISC Squared didn't necessarily know about what other groups did. ISACA, right, the auditing aspect of security. ISC Squared was more of the generalist. ISSA was for information systems and information security systems. Cloud Security Alliance. There were many. And as is, right, is more for physical. InfraGard started off as cyber and became physical. So all these groups were commingled, but nobody really had an awareness of what each of these groups did. So I think it was beneficial to us to have the Joint Cybersecurity Conference so we can talk and meet with each other, but also talk to the leaders of all these organizations to find out where we can better place ourselves. I'll put a shameless plug. I'm doing a talk later with Robert Darling, a retired Lieutenant Colonel from the Marine Corps, on cyber physical threats. And I'm not going to give a spoiler alert, but today's day and age, how many of our cyber threats relate to physical terrorism? How many of our physical threats are done in the auspices of creating a cyber or a financial crime? These are the things that worry me every day. And I think as this conference grows, it's going to start including more of the physical organizations. It's going to include more financial organizations. It's going to include folks who are outside of the security realm, because in the end, security needs to be everywhere. Anybody play sports here? Who's responsible for defense? Come on, go ahead. Who's responsible for defense? Everyone, right? And that's the way security needs to be. We've come to an age where I thought by now security should have been involved with everything. I thought maybe the idea of the CISO would go away, because security should be part of technology. Security should be part of your business plan. Security needs to be part of your architecture, your design. It's not there yet, and that kind of bothers me. I mean, this is something that's so ingrained. 20 years ago, technology was its own, computer science was its own aspect, and people didn't, you were either in the technology field or not in the technology field. These days, every field has technology associated with it. So why isn't security following that same path? Why is it being so difficult? And I think that's our job. Our job is to play defense. Our job is to get everyone together and make sure security is part of every fabric of life. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. Let me just talk about our organizations that are here today, right? So we have the HTCIA, High Tech Crimes, right? We have the ACFE for the fraud. We have ISACA New Jersey and ISACA Greater Hartford. We have InfraGard New York. We have ISSA New York, of which Bill is a board member. Bill Murray, which I'll introduce in a minute, is a board member of about 15 different groups. He is an ISC Squared fellow and in the Cybersecurity Hall of Fame. So thank you, Bill. I'm glad to call you a mentor. I'd like to thank our vendors. Without the vendors, this would not be possible. One of the things is that all our groups are nonprofit organizations, meaning that we don't run this to make money. In fact, I think the tickets were $75 each. The cost per attendee was $115. So if you think about this, we would be losing money without our sponsors. So thank you to Microsoft, Highpoint, Fortinet, Stealth Bits, Silver Fort, Defend Edge, One Force Technology, Pluralsight, Lifers, and did I miss anybody? Yeah, that means that sponsor's not in this room. Thank you to the sponsors. I also want to point out that I am a volunteer firefighter, so it's my duty to show you where the exits are. So if you notice, we have 4 exit signs here and 2 exit signs in my back. All of these will lead out to staircases. So in the event of an emergency, please don't try and grab another cup of coffee. You know, leave. Time is of the essence. Also, being a human, I'll tell you where the bathrooms are in this hallway behind this. So that's probably the most important thing you'll hear today. Just to kind of give you reading from my notes, you saw that our giveaways today are umbrellas. So I guess I'm very lucky that 2 months ago I knew it was going to rain today. I know nobody's going to walk around with an umbrella during the day, so they're on the banister. On your way out, grab 1 or 2 of them. I don't care. You know, I'd rather run short than have too many. We also have some raffles afterwards. We are giving away a Surface computer, a drone quadcopter, a wireless home camera system, which includes pet cameras, home security systems, motion detection, audio, night vision, indoor surveillance systems, and remote monitors. We have several speakers here who have authored books, and they've nicely provided a few books to raffle off as well. In fact, one of them is in preprint, so when we do the raffle, I'll pass your name and email over to the author, and she will send you the signed copies. We also have some earbuds, and we have several vendor raffles. So visit your sponsors, talk to them. I know I think at least 3 of them are having raffles today, so that's great. So before I start, is there any questions that you have about the conference, or why you're here, why I'm here? No? All right, good. So right now I'd like to introduce Bill Murray, or William U. Murray. He has been responding to security for years with non-conventional thinking. And I can speak from my time at InfraGard. Bill's perspective on many security issues is astounding, right? He thinks way beyond, or way deeper, or way above what the rest of us think. You'll hear of an event, and you know, Bill's take on it is totally twisted. But he's 99% of the time he's correct, and the 1% he's wrong, he'll never admit. But like I said, I'm glad to call him a mentor. I've known him since 2003, when he was much better looking. And you know, Bill, why don't you come up and say hello?